Welcome to Conversations with Verdel Jones. I'm your host, Verdel Jones, and we are about empowering your passion with purpose. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am so excited. I have an awesome guest. I have Marc Anthony Bynum. He is the chef/owner of Marc Bynum Concepts. And you all know Marc Bynum. You all know Chef Marc Bynum. He is the three-time Chopped champion. He's a renowned chef, and he's known for his bold creativity and refined palate. Chef Bynum has led top kitchens. He's launched acclaimed restaurants, and he's built a thriving catering brand. So he's here today to share his journey behind the plates and what's next as he expands his culinary empire. Marc, I want to welcome you to Conversations with Verdel Jones.
How you doing, Verdel? Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing? So great to be on the show. I'm very, very happy to be here. Take two, but yeah, this is the second time, so I love it.
Right.
I love it.
That's right.
You know?
So Chef was on Long Island's Finest, and that's when it was like during COVID-ish era, and we were in our home, and we had an amazing conversation. It looked awesome. It was great. So thank you for being back.
Yes, of course. Yes. But how's everything going?
Everything is going well. You know, I really can't complain, and I won't complain because I'm too blessed for that. So everything is good.
Good.
So I want to start, Chef, if you can, just watching your how you got started. I remember when you were at our table a few years ago, you talked about how, your mother would be cooking and you watched her cook. How did she shape your love for cooking?
My mom shaped my love for cooking. She really embodied what hospitality was. And, just the tutelage that she taught me how to season, but she also let me know it's really not about you. My mom is super duper selfless in the fact that it was always about the family. It was always about making sure everybody ate when they came into the home, when they came into our home, or when they went to church, that it was something that they could look forward to. And that always resonated with me. And it sticks to me even this day. I want you to know when we're in the space and when we're not there. And we want to show you hospitality through everything that we do. From the time you walk through the door to the time you go to the bathroom, everything is about really giving you a service. And I think that's what's really missing nowadays is people understanding what hospitality is and what it really means to serve.
I love that you said that, she said it's not about you. There's so many people that think it's only about them. So in hospitality, it's very important to make sure that you are providing that hospitality.
Yes, that service is important. As much as it's my restaurant, when people come in, they're going to tell you what they like. They're going to tell you what they need. And it's up to us as the owner, as the chef, as those in charge to listen and pay attention, but deliver on that. We have our vision, and that's one thing. But when the people come in, they want an escape. They want a space in between. And that's what hospitality is. If you think about when it was formulated, it was to take away the hurts and the pains. Whenever, prohibition, when you sat down, it was so you could forget. And that's what we want. That's what we want you to do. We want you to forget about what's going on outside. We want to pay attention to everything that's going on the plate, between the cocktails, it's so important that we key in. And it's not about us because we're there to perform. It's a Broadway show every day. And it's not about, what your dog did or what the person did before you came into your job. It's let me come in and give these people an experience. And that's what we do, whether it's the catering, whether it's the pizza, it's the MBE, it's the Marc Bynum experience. And when you see that logo, when you see that, whether it's the Pie Hole, the Burger Bar, Hush Bistro, Marc Bynum Concepts, when you see those logos, I'm about to have a nice experience. I'm about to have some great food. And they're gonna treat me the way I want to be treated. So 30 years of working and building that brand, that's yes, it's really about, and that's what my mom taught me. That's what, I'm saying, that's what my Aunt Joni taught me. Regardless of how you feel, regardless of what you think about, we're here to do a job. And, for me, my kids eat off of it. I eat off of it. And to be an example, not just to, and I'm an example to everybody, people my age, older, younger, because not everybody has the same principles and values. And regardless of what goes down, you can't say you come to our restaurant, you come to an experience that we've put on and it hasn't been what you've expected. We always try to deliver. And if we don't, you best believe I'm going to try and get you back and deliver on that promise. But that's hospitality, and real food and hospitality. That's the only thing that wins. That's the only reason why I've been in business for so long. That's the only reason why, I'm in Alabama now, but I'll be in New York the whole summer because my clients that we've created over years and years still want us there. So that's right. That's a true testament. That's a true testament.
Absolutely. And speaking of that, you've cooked on some of the biggest stages. You've had restaurants, food trucks, catered personal experiences, rolling loud and South by Southwest. Yeah. I read that. I was like, oh, okay. He's been all over the place.
Yeah.
And it is that hospitality that makes you, and the quality that you provide that keeps people coming. Right. And like you said, you're going to be in New York all summer because of that. But you're entering a new chapter, right? So you are, you moved to Birmingham, right? And we talked a little bit about this when we saw you last weekend. You're expanding your reach, but why the move? That's my first question. And what's the big vision for your brand moving forward?
Yeah, so the move to Birmingham was great because somebody actually said, several that you have up there, and we can just really build it down here. And it was a billionaire. So I did it. And 6 weeks into it, they didn't really feel the vision was what they were ready for. Not that I wasn't ready, they weren't ready. So with the truck and everything down here, me and my wife, we just started to continue to grow Marc Bynum Concepts. First, it was just going to be me building their brand, and God didn't want that. So now the new move is not just to help build the catering, but also the restaurant group. So by the end of the year, we will be opening our first brick and mortar in Birmingham. It's going to be called Harmony. Harmony by Chef Marc Bynum. It's going to be my restaurant that's going to really embrace not just the food and the culture of Birmingham, but tell the story of Birmingham. Harmony, and that's what I'm in right now. And it's going to be a culmination of everything that I've done over the past 30 years, and also tying into the harm, the pain of the birth of racism and the birth of civil between Selma, Martin, A.G. Gaston. So it's really the North coming to the South, me coming down here and really showcasing the beauty of Birmingham and what that really means. Not just the food on the plate, not just the music, but talking in real detail and understanding of what has gone on and how we're moving forward, not just in Birmingham, but as a country. And moving into the harmony phase of what this pain has now birthed. And, whether it be the pain of, me and my double entendres, whether it be the pain of the hospitality industry moving in this direction, the pain of the death and everything else, you can't have music without some hurt. And the best things are made through the pain. Mm-hmm. And that is the culmination of this life's work. And it's as much as it's the end of one thing, it's the beginning of another, because Marc Bynum Hospitality is going to be birthed and is birthed through my pain. I think that we all need to live at peace and harmony and just have some good food and music to just culminate that whole thing. That's it's no different than hush. It's hush on steroids, and it's going to be great.
That is such a powerful concept. And so, wow. The vision for that and the is
Yes.
so powerful. And is the plan to be able to bring that? I mean, it's really the story, like you said, of Birmingham, but it's the power. It's the story of a collective pain throughout.
It is. This is going to be the start of a movement that I didn't even think that I would be a part of or headed, if you will. But because it was just, and as it comes, like when I hear it, and I spoke to somebody, I was like, I don't understand the significance of stars falling from the sky in Alabama, but when I close my eyes and I think about harmony, that's all that I see. And the people of Alabama knew exactly what they said. No, there's a song that's the stars falling from the sky. And then if I do my research, the biblical reference to it is greatness falling to the earth, or it's the change birthed through so much pain, the change birthed through so much adversity. It is now the transition, the stars falling from the sky, and that's going to be a very integral part of the design of it. And I'm going to have something called, there's a room that I'm going to just call Roots. And I really want the roots running throughout the room and then culminate with a mural of faces of civil rights activists, of musicians, of everybody that has paid. Like so for me, it's words cannot describe what I feel when I speak about this now, understanding why I went through what I went through.
Right.
So
yes,
this is not just the harmony of my life, but I speak to brothers all over the country. We've all gone through the same thing, but we don't conversate. We don't talk.
Right.
Because of the struggle that we feel. My dad didn't really speak to me about his struggle until he saw me speaking at an event when it was Black Lives Matter in the middle of COVID. And that's when he talked to me about how he was raised in sundown towns and how, saying the struggles that he had, like those were real things. That I have as a chef, the struggle that I have as a Black man, you know what I'm saying? Regardless of where I'm in the country, I see my brothers going through it. There's a chef in Seattle that I reach out to, and it's just like, the scariest thing is to see a Black man in power. The scariest thing is to see somebody that's lived through every obstacle and come out.
Right.
And now it's up to us to continue to tell that story. And then when I tell my story, I got 15 kids in my DM talking about some, yo, chef, you've touched me in a way that I didn't think that anybody else was going through it, because we don't speak.
Right.
We don't talk.
Right.
And, this also comes to the food speaks, you know what I'm saying, which is my tag.
Yes.
But now it's the harmony of living in peace with not just myself, but those that are around me. There's no need for us to walk around angry anymore.
Yeah.
If you're angry, it's because you don't know how to communicate. And, God is just telling me, you got to show your work. And this is just a beacon for others. The place is so impressive, Verdel. I can't wait to just bring others in and say,
yes,
like, this is what we can, this is harmony. This is what we can do. This is peace. And it's not about me. I came down here for one reason, and it's transitioned into something else. And that just continues to grow through the purpose that God has given me.
Right.
And once we understand our purpose, it just becomes a little bit easier. I talk to my father, because that relationship that we have now is just different. And I'm 46 years old, and now the relationship that I have with him, I wish I had when I was 15.
Yeah. Right.
Because
but
he's my dad.
Right. But everything, it's in time too. And what happens is you've had the experience of talking to him as a grown man with all your experiences and everything that you went through, and you can really take that in better. or more deeply.
Yes.
You know, so wow,
And appreciate it.
And appreciate it. Absolutely. I can't wait to go to Birmingham to go to this space, Harmony. I mean, it's powerful. I'm very excited for you.
Yes.
I love the vision.
Thank you.
It's amazing. And I know that one of the things that you're also you're looking for investors who want to help with building this brand and expanding it to other markets. And you have some other things that you want to do as far as some beverage endeavors that you're looking into with other cities.
Yes.
So what kind of partners are you hoping to attract? I mean, right there, that's a powerful story. And what you want to do, it seems that there are definitely people who would be interested in this. But what type of partners are you looking to attract? And I know it excites you already about these ventures, but who do you want to work with?
I want to work with people that really want to make a change. As my brother's venture is great, but I need people, other chefs, because we can't do it alone, but also, people in different spaces and people in different places to know I can do this here. I can really take my vision to the next level. I'm looking for coverage. That's a big word for me now, is coverage. I know what I can do. I know what I'm capable of, but I also know where I fell short in the past. And, as far as the PR is big, but the accounting and stuff like that, finance is absolutely necessary. And just clearing up the books and the records. So if I'm looking for partners, I'm looking for partners that can do and go into areas that I'm not very well versed in. It's the financial backing. I'm looking for developers. I'm looking for people, and I'll say this: people that want to come and develop in the area. It is a great profitability if you come in and you come and walk the city. The amount that we can do here. It's probably one of the last pieces of uncharted land in America. There's so much land here. There's so much opportunity here. And if you come into it with open eyes, I don't want to come and take over Birmingham. I just want to come in and put my jang on it. And that's why I reached out to the locals, because I don't want them to say, oh, he's coming and he's trying to change. No. And that's why it's so important that I tell the story of Birmingham with harmony. Wow. Because I just want to live in harmony with the people of Birmingham.
Right.
Because we've all lived at war, and we've all told stories, but to come together again as a people and to live in harmony and to live in a place where we could just eat, drink, and have fun. It's about. And that was Hush, It was 1920s Harlem Renaissance Prohibition. If you had good food, good music, and good booze, it didn't matter what you looked like down in the juke joint. Everybody was chilling. If Harmony was open when Sinners first came out, even with it being in Mississippi's too. And I love my location. I'm 2 hours away from Atlanta, just a couple of hours away from Savannah. You got New Orleans, you got Mississippi, you got Tennessee. It's like to me, I'm right where I need to be. I'm right in the middle of it all. 2 hours, and the history all blends itself in. And I'm from the North. Like I'm from New York. It's a totally different, but I see and these streets tell a story. Like if when I walk the CRD and you feel that. When I was in Savannah, I proposed to my wife in Savannah, but you feel that pain when you're walking those docks. Yes. And if you press in, you can definitely get into, the food tastes different to me now. Stop smoking. And if anybody knows me, I smoke. But I stopped smoking because I needed to really see and hear exactly. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I needed to hear exactly what God was saying, because I didn't want to miss it. This is something that's so important. I do not want to miss.
Understood.
And that requires a sacrifice.
Wow.
And I'm making it because if you pay attention, we all have spots that we could have, I could have got out. I could have went to a higher level here, but I didn't because I was too occupied. I don't want to be too occupied to miss it.
Right.
I don't want to be too occupied to not hear. I don't want to be preoccupied to not hear. So we just got to keep ourselves in a place of peace so we can live in harmony. Like it's peace.
Peace and harmony.
That's it. Yeah.
You are definitely a creative in the spaces that I have been in, that you have been in, and you're curating experiences. How do you manage that? I know you said you need cover, but how difficult is it for you to manage being that creative and being that business owner? And really, you're also masterful at pivoting and making changes when you need them.
Mm-hmm.
If you could speak to that.
Yeah, it's been a struggle, and to be able to juggle. But I found my favor, and her name is Gina, and that's my wife.
Nice.
Because she gives me a peace, but also understanding. I'm at a certain age where I want to bring in talent. I don't want to do it by myself. I have these grades for wisdom for a reason. And as great as all the restaurants were, without the strongest team that I needed, it's not going to be fulfilled.
Yeah.
So but that's also ego. That's also getting older to know I got to give up some power.
Right.
And I got to look for people that are great team players. Because now as the owner, I'm not Michael Jordan. I don't want to be Michael Jordan anymore. So I can then be more creative.
Right.
So that's what this is teaching me. And even moving out of Long Island and expanding my site. And it's kind of crazy. I left, and everybody, when I came back home, they was like, "What did it show you?" I said, "It showed me a bigger vision."
Yeah.
And for people that know me, they was just like, "That's saying something," because a bigger vision. So to throw it, knowing I can't do it by myself, that my kids aren't going to be the ones that are going to take up the mantle, but now finding like-minded brothers and sisters that are going to come together, and not just in the culinary space, but in the media space, which is very important to grow the brand and to grow the business. And then the accountants, very important. The attorneys, very important. Making sure that the branding and the messaging is right, but making sure we own everything we're doing. The trademarks are there. Like, they're doing their job. We all eat. And then there's no resentment. My media team, the one that I want to build, if they're getting shine because of the brand that they're helping us create, you can't be upset with that. It's wanting everybody to grow and eat. Right. And I'm happy that I'm becoming mature enough to see that, to understand, and to want what's best for not just myself. Yeah. Because you could be high man on the totem and everybody else is looking at you with resentment. No, bring them up. Everybody, like, I want everybody to be at a place, but that's also hospitality, and that's also giving back. And, if you just look and do research on how the gangsters ran it, they wanted their whole team. If their whole team is looking like they're the guy, you don't even know who the guy is, to then single them out, and everybody feels better, and they're going to work better for you. Right. I want everybody to own something, because then it's not, I'm just going to work. No, this is our livelihood. We eat real good off of it. And moving to Birmingham showed me we live up top to say that we are in New York just to waste our money at times. Like, our money goes further down here. Oh. And to be able to roll out of bed and be at any given place in the country in a couple of hours, we have to change our thinking. And to be in New York, is great. But, to be able to have peace and quiet It's priceless. Priceless.
Oh, I don't want Jeremiah to hear that because he wants to get out of here so bad.
Bring my brother. Let's go.
So I want to make sure that I get this in as well. You have a special offer for Harmony in Home dinner services. So tell us about that special promo that you have.
25%. There's a minimum, of course, because it's me. Y'all know I'm overpriced and my food is trash, but it's okay.
Not true.
Just go to MarcBynumConcepts.com. Look at the Harmony series. We have the spring series up, but the summer series and then the fall series, we always change it. And we bring the cocktails. We bring everything to you, and it's open to everybody all over the country. So if you're listening in California, if you're in New York or Long Island, wherever you are, we can come to you. There's a price, but we can come to you.
I love that. Yes. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and you give me an answer. It's fast round. Your favorite ingredient you can't live without?
Garlic oil. I put it on everything. I make my own garlic oil.
Okay.
And it's a great finisher. It's great on eggs. You make a toast, grilled cheese, great finisher. Garlic oil.
Oh, garlic oil. Wow. Okay.
Yes.
One dish that represents your culinary soul.
I'm gonna go to the pie hole, and that's going to be my oxtail pie, the Buster Rhymes. I think that it's oxtails, peas. It's oxtail, butter bean on the crust dough. I really, really love pizza. I really love making bread, and that's that right there. It shows grace, but yet it's oxtail, so you know exactly where it's coming from. But that
Right.
pizza dough is just something totally different, and I love it.
Wow. Okay. Who is your dream dinner guest?
I would love to sit with Martin Luther King. That's since I was a kid. I would love, like, at the end of the day, we all have our demons. We all understand, but to be able to sit and speak, because you have to think how old he was.
But he was a young man.
Exactly that. Or should I say how young he was? Like when I think of, Fred Hampton, like 21 years old.
Right.
Like those are the people that I would love to sit with. Because at 21, I was having my first kid. I wasn't thinking about civil rights. I wasn't thinking about empowering my people.
Exactly.
I'm at 46 now, and I'm now saying yes. Right. But to be able to sit with him and to see what was in his head, but also to know the greatness of our people, that even at 21, they were like, we got to get these guys out of here. Right. Is impactful. I want to know what was in their head. Crazy. Yes, it is.
It really is.
How great are we for real that at 21 years old, at 14, like, that's greatness right there. I want to sit next to that. I want to feed them.
I love it.
Yeah.
And I got one last question for you. One word that defines your journey.
Impactful.
Oh, nice.
Not just for me, but for others. Impactful. Like, I got a 25-year-old son. He sees me. That's impactful. My twin, my middle, he's about to be 15 years old. Impactful for them. And my daughter, who's now, she's going to see the second wave or the third wave, whatever you want to call these waves that I'm on right now. But impactful for them to see there's no quit. Yeah. And not just, I got little guys. When I say little guys, chefs all over the country that, key in to that. I just want to be a change. And for me, I've never had a me in my life. So I want to make sure that when these kids are growing up, not just my children, but they have somebody that they can look to and say, I'm going to be all right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He made it. I didn't go to college. I never, I sent my kids to college. I'm sending my children to school. I'm the one that's jumping out the jar. I'm the one that shows no limits. I will show no restraint. I will pivot as many times as I need to in order to get this bucket. That is just it, because that's what we have to do. And the world does not stop turning because we spilled a glass of milk. It doesn't. Clean it up and keep it moving.
That's right.
And that's the resolve and the impact. I just want it to be impactful. When I'm gone, they're going to be like, impactful. That's it.
Chef, thank you so much. And you are definitely impactful. What a legacy. What a legacy for your children and for all of us. And it's greatly appreciated. Let people know how they can contact you. You mentioned partnerships and investors. How can people contact you, reach out to you, and stay connected?
Stay connected, MarcBynumConcepts.com. You can always follow us on social media. Chef Marc Bynum, MarcBynum. You have MarcBynumConcepts.com. You have Marc Bynum Concepts. You have the Pie Hole. Any of those handles we're on. If you want to reach out, chef@MarcBynumConcepts.com is the email address. And if it goes to admin, it'll go right to me. And anybody that knows me, if you email me, I'm definitely gonna pick up. I pick up. And so all those investors, all those people that want to come and be a part, like I got the pitch deck. Send me over your email. I'll send you over an NDA, and we can talk about it. And anything that you guys want to do in your city for us to come and pop up and to help shine a light on your business, shine a light on what you're doing. Other chefs, we do grand openings. We do everything. We'll drop a kitchen there. We'll bring the people in. We'll bring the press, and we'll show them exactly what you're doing. Be on point, but we'll show them exactly what's going on. So please reach out, Chef Marc Bynum, Marc Bynum Concepts, MarcBynumConcepts.com, and just shoot us an email over any information that you need for investment purposes and for any, and just to help out. Chef, I'm looking for work, and I want to come and check out Birmingham. You know what I'm saying? I'm bringing chefs in for a couple of weeks just to see the city, walk around the city, so they can say yay or nay, and get their own opinion of it, and then come down here and let's get to work. But if you're going to come, make sure you come in to get to work, because that's what we do.
You heard it. Chef wants you to come there to work.
To work. Yeah. The fun will come later. Let's work.
Chef Bynum, I want to thank you so much for being a guest on Conversations with Verdel Jones. You guys make sure that you reach out to him. It's always a pleasure being in a space with you and being able to chop it up. I just want to say thank you. And I want to thank everybody for watching Conversations with Verdel Jones, and we'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and follow us on social media so you will never miss an episode.